Super Bowl 50 halftime show. Quite the debate. Lots of opinions. Either people loved it or they hated it. Of course, Coldplay was the opener, but you wouldn't really know that because most people are talking about Beyonce's performance. We'll talk about her performance. Also, Bruno Mars, I thought killed it. But before we talk about Beyonce and what people are saying about her performance, what did you guys think about the overall Super Bowl halftime show?
I was like, didn't Bruno Mars do this last year? When was his year? Was it last year?
I think it was last.
And this
no,
song,
last year was Katy Perry. The year before was Bruno Mars.
But this song wasn't out. But I just feel like I've heard that song everywhere where I'm like, this, don't get me wrong, he's the best dancer.
Yeah.
And that song
Live
just
performer.
works anytime you put it on. People will start dancing.
I loved their dance off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Loved that.
That was
Actually, no,
awesome.
I did, because it was straight down the barrel and whatever. But like the whole time, I'm just asking, like, where did Coldplay go?
I know.
Where did these people go?
They didn't.
A lot of people thought that though. Like there's a meme where it has Coldplay Chris Martin like looking like kind of like this, and then you see Beyonce and you see Bruno Mars. The caption is when you're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Coldplay didn't open the show. It was supposed to be the Coldplay halftime show. And what happened that was kind of...
Yeah, he was supposed to be the headliner.
Right, which is what happened that was kind of uncomfortable that people are commenting on in memes is that, you know, Beyonce and Bruno Mars they really stole the show. And you can't fault them for that. They're just incredible live performers. And Coldplay, musically, they sounded fine. You know, but
the mix was off. You couldn't hear Chris Martin.
Okay, I mean...
all the other vocalists were way up, and he was way down.
But like you wouldn't be like, oh God, like Chris Martin tanked.
No.
You know, it wasn't like he was floundering up there. Like the performance was fine, but it was exactly what you would get from a Coldplay performance. People are not going to get as hyped for the song Yellow unless they're at their middle school dance as they will for Beyonce's song Formation. People are going to lose their minds.
Especially because she launched or she dropped Formation, and we're going to talk about that music video in a separate video, but she had launched Formation the night before, which already garnered a lot of hype and buzz, and people wanted to see more, and then clearly she goes into it, and then she announces the Formation World Tour, but some people did not like Beyonce's performance.
Here's the thing. She needs to, when doing dance moves like that, not have the huge hair.
Why?
The huge hair
I thought it worked for her.
Oh,
like,
no. So distracting. I'm watching it being like, oh my God, is Beyonce not a good dancer? Which I know is false. But she's doing this, and her hair is just distracting.
She's also...
When you see her in the Formation video, which we'll talk about, it's tight and high, and I'm like, oh, those are sharper movements. She just looked ridiculous to me.
Not every part of the Formation video, and we'll talk about that, because she's also trying to own her blackness. She is. So a big part of that video, and I'm saying this.
Well, that video, we'll get into that video later.
Yes,
but
here, in the performance, it's also portraying the imagery that you see in the video. We'll get into that because you see that she's got her hair wild.
The Black Panther outfits is
the dancers,
owning blackness.
Well, hold on, because there's a number of things that happen. So she has her wild hair. And there has been, and I'm kind of like regurgitating a lot of the commentary from the music video that she really wanted to portray, like bigger hair, and she did the same thing in the Super Bowl performance. But also the dancers were in Black Panther outfits. But you can't deny that this performance, this song, the music video, which we'll later talk about, is very politically charged. And even afterwards, the dancers were holding up a sign that says "Justice for Mario Woods," and there was a lot of imagery, more so in the music video, attributed to Black Lives Matter. But clearly, that was portrayed during her show. So I think it was very strategic for her to have her hair wild and to own it and be proud about that.
I am not talking about the effectiveness and the cultural legacy of like black hair.
You just thought it made her not look like a good dancer.
I'm just saying that like her dancing looked stupid.
And I could not disagree more. I like that she came on and it was this entrance. You know, you had her dancers walk out and then it cleared and she's there and it's just, she's this big presence. I think that she looked beautiful. I think she looked bold, and I think that that's what she's wanting from this new work that she's putting out, and I think that that's the impression that she left. And that was what sucked for Coldplay, because you have Beyonce and you have Bruno Mars coming out here, and they put out a very impactful performance with this dance-off, and then you have, I mean, a really nice white guy dancing in between.
So nice, especially if you watch his like James Corden carpool karaoke.
Yeah, so nice.
I changed my view of Chris Martin.
He's so
just
nice.
so fantastic.
But unless you're like Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber, chances are like nobody really is looking forward to seeing the white guy dance. And so you have him there with his microphone, be like, hey guys, remember high school? Remember the scientist?
And she made a statement too. Boy, and even her jacket was
she was a general.
It it was a tribute to Michael Jackson, had like the same jacket when he performed in '93 at the Super Bowl halftime show.
And I will say, I love the tribute at the end of the show when Coldplay was playing the one of the Coldplay.
You didn't like that part?
No, just showing past performers because it is Super Bowl 50. I like that
they missed some performers though.
They did miss some of them, but I like that they point out Michael Jackson's performance because that was one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime performances of all time. Of all time.
But like,
I like that.
No,
Final thoughts.
No.
Did you love?
The answer is no. The answer is they were doing too many things. And you know, I don't know what. Well, I would definitely not do like a Coldplay song I've never heard in a retrospective of things I should know by heart, you know? And bringing it together on Everybody Love Each Other or whatever that chorus was, like the most generic or whatever that was. So adding to that, like I definitely get their attempt to bring in the previous performers. However, to have Coldplay
do it,
which was overtly a non-controversial choice. No one's like, gotta love Coldplay. It's like, oh, that's right, I'm driving and I don't want to think for a while. Let's put it on to pass the time. Then to, you know, say like, oh, we've got some leeway now to make a statement because we've done the most non-controversial thing ever. Like, if it's gonna be Beyonce, just have Beyonce headline the show. That's the problem. And to see, you're right about the hoppy doppy dance because that's Chris Martin's.
Do you think Beyonce killed it then? Because like I said, some people were disappointed. I thought she owned it and killed it. I loved Bruno Mars as well. And Coldplay was just more. He wasn't as entertaining. I'm sorry, but I want to hear your votes because it was polarizing last night on social media. Did you love it or not so much?
100% agree with Brett. Beyonce killed it. They probably should have just had her do the show and brought out Coldplay.
I think this was Super Bowl 50. And to have Beyonce come out and make a statement, for Beyonce to make statements is important. However, if it's going to be the retrospective Super Bowl 50 halftime show, have everybody big come out in person to perform for a little bit. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and speaking of performers, we should at least give credit to Lady Gaga. I think we can all agree. All agree that she nailed that national anthem. Even though she looked a little bit like Effie from Hunger Games.
She crushed it.
She killed it. Okay, you guys, please share your thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime performance in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, check us out on watchable.com.